Hello everybody, we're the Geeks and Degenerates. I am Enzo, this is my forever co-host John, and today, well tonight for us, talk about episode 2 of Masters of the Air, the ongoing World War II series about the Air Force, well, the American Air Force, mixed with the British Air Force too, because England is where they took off. If you guys didn't know, now you know. Which I forgot about, because when they were talking with the Royal Air Force, I was like, right, that makes sense. It's also more effective and efficient to fly from England to wherever they need to go to Europe. Otherwise, they would just run out of fuel if they took off from, let's say, America.
America, and then yeah. I mean, you can make that argument where like the Americans are a tad bit late to the war.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
but I do like that it picks right off from the last one where everybody's still reeling from the failed mission. Like John is like, why can't feel anything for these men. Well, Barry Keoghan's like, I miss them, and he asked Barry Keoghan to like hit him to feel something.
You know what? I don't know what it is about the character of what's his name, Barry Keoghan.
Yeah, Curtis is his name, the character's name.
Yeah, I really like the character of Curtis. Like he's that type of character where he's a side character, but everybody's gonna like him.
Yeah,
he's gonna be the badass of the team.
Yeah,
that's
exactly.
what I feel like he's gonna be. And sure, he's like not as much of a standout compared to like Buck and Bucky, but you know that he's the type of guy to get shit done.
Yeah, and I do like all these quiet moments in between missions. For now, it just literally feels like quiet moment, and then a mission happens, and you're like, oh, so that's how it works. That's fine. You just get more attached to the men, like when the Americans and the British have like, come on, let's see what you're made of, since you keep talking shit about us.
Yeah.
And the Barry Keoghan kills him.
Barry Keoghan just like knocks him out with one punch. I was like, damn!
Right? You're like, I'm gonna
what happened to you?
You were talking so much shit, and now you're on the floor. Oh well.
Yeah.
But yeah, I do like how, I guess the quiet moments are for us to be more endeared to the characters, like Buck and Bucky, and like I really like the dynamic between Callum Spencer and Austin Butler, especially Austin Butler, because like I don't know, ever since Elvis, I keep seeing him pop everywhere, like in Dune Part 2, and now here I'm like, guess you're one of the best stars of our generation. Cool, why not?
Yeah, he's a hot commodity now, and I'm gonna say, like, the dude's sexy. The dude has that voice.
Yeah.
Like, you can't go wrong with his voice. And like, his performance here combined with his name, the other Bucky.
Yeah.
Like, you could tell that they are friends. I love the dynamic between both of them.
Yeah.
It does feel like they're the ones holding the 100th.
Yeah.
Like holding them together.
Yeah.
Like these two guys. I don't know. I really like that dynamic.
And like since in this episode John gets demoted, like you get to see him lead, and like Callum Spencer is British, and like but he has these moments where he sounds like Chris Evans as Steve Rogers. I'm like, oh, where the hell did that come from? Jesus.
Really? No, I didn't know he was British.
Yeah, same here, until like I saw an interview with him and Austin Butler. I was like, huh, that's funny. Oh well.
But that's kind of weird though, because Barry Keoghan is
Irish.
Irish.
Yeah.
Sorry, that's for sure. That's insulting to our Irish viewers. I didn't mean to.
But yeah, you can't tell that Barry Keoghan's not American here. You're like, huh. Even though you've seen in other things like...
He has a bit of an off... Not gonna lie, his New Yorker accent is a bit weird.
Yeah.
In my opinion.
Yeah. Well, like you've seen him in things like the Banshees of Inisherin, where you're like, yeah, that's your natural language, or like, what do you call that?
I love them in that movie.
Yeah. But yeah, you can tell his accent is naturally Irish. And you're like,
yeah.
But here you're like, it's a weird New York accent, but I'm sure I'll grow to it.
Yeah, for sure we'll both go through it. But like, I love this character. I really do.
Yeah,
He's the quiet type. He lets the main guy shine while he like stays in the shadows a bit. And just but he has something up his sleeve, and
yeah,
not in a bad way. I mean, like he's a badass.
yeah. Also, I failed to mention this in episode 1, but like I do like the intro for this show, especially the music. It does feel like I'm here for.
Band of Brothers.
Yeah,
They kind of like go back to that, and I do miss it. I like it too. There are some scenes here where I'm like, I think that's like further into the series,
yeah.
and I feel like I'm getting spoiled a bit.
Right? You're like, I don't like this, even though you're getting attached. Like both Austin Butler and the two Buckies keep saying stuff. I'm not sure if are like red flags of like I don't want either one of these to die. I really don't.
I really do feel like one of them is going to die.
Yeah. And like yeah, the opening credits don't help. Where you're like, I'm already attached. I don't want them to go away. Like
Yeah.
not just the
Well,
Buckies,
it-
but like Sergeant or Lieutenant Crosby, who keeps puking everywhere.
No, yeah. Like Lieutenant, I like Lieutenant Crosby. Like I didn't like him at the start where he was like throwing up and everywhere,
Yeah,
but now he's kind of like gaining more screen time, and his character's kind of developing now.
yeah,
The fact that he brought home the entire battalion, I don't know what you call it,
Squadron.
the entire squadron back home safely.
Yeah,
Everybody's kind of like, oh shit, thanks to that guy, we kind of made it out okay.
yeah. Also during the mission where they dropped the bombs, I'm like, all right, I forgot how much damage a entire squadron can do to anything.
Yeah,
You're like, Jesus Christ. And like you
right?
see how important the missions are because Germany keeps sending out U-boats and like other things to stop supplies, and America's like, if we don't have those, we can't fight in Europe at all. So what
Yeah.
do? We have to send in our boys to fly over and bomb them.
Yeah. And yeah, as you said, like my God, you legit underestimate what when you hear bombing. You're like, oh, okay, a little explosion from here to there. This thing like probably takes out 4 fucking buildings with one fucking bomb.
Yeah. And you see how desperate the Germans are to stop them with the Luftwaffe,
Yeah.
and you're like I read somewhere that German Air Force is one of the most formidable air forces in World War II, and you see it, and you feel sorry for the people in the cockpit. I'm not sure if it's this episode or the last one where someone gets shot, and he's like, "Are you okay?" He turns the guy.
And like his like mouth is gone.
You're like, "Holy shit!" Fuck.
Right? Yeah.
And the poor Crosby thinks he's hit, but it's just chunks of his own vomit.
The yeah, I was like, why isn't it like dripping on his head?
Yeah.
I was trying to think, and then he had like, it did make sense. Like it froze over.
And I was just going, you're like, that's gross, but at the same time, thank God you're not hit. I mean, if you were
Yeah.
hit in the head, I doubt you feel anything after that.
I feel like you won't be anything after that.
Exactly.
But yeah, but within the flacking, Barry Keegan's character's plane gets hit,
yeah.
and like I think 3 engines die
Yeah.
as he's flying, and has to make an emergency landing
And
in
Scotland.
Scotland or Ireland. Forgot which one.
Scotland.
Yeah, and and again, we kind of go back to like this guy's kind of cool.
Yeah.
Like him doing the emergency landing is like, I was like, that wasn't so bad. Like,
Right?
this man just shrugged it off like they almost hit the side of the fucking mountain.
But like, again, just comes down to, again, these men have nerves of steel. Like, you see how calm and composed they are. Especially when they're about to crash. I was like, if that was me, I'd be screaming my head off. I'm like, fuck, well, this is the end. Shit.
Dude, at the flacking alone, I've been like, well, nope, okay, yeah. I'm like, I'm gonna stay in the corner, and they're like, oh, you gotta man the fucking bombs. I'm like, nah. You do that shit on your own. Fuck that shit.
Or like, you have to man the turret. You're like, I'm fighting against fighters that are more capable of doing barrel rolls than we ever are. I don't want to fight. I want to go home. But we go to like, again, personal moments where when like, was it Buck or Bucky who was like, "You think I can sing? I can sing, right?" Then Buck's like, "Please don't. I'm begging you, for the love of God,
Yeah.
don't sing."
Okay, Bucky is black haired guy. Buck is yellow haired guy.
Yeah, Austin
August.
Butler. Yeah.
Yeah.
They even have a race in camp. You're like, again, you're like, I'm attached, and I'm so worried that a few episodes down we'll lose someone. You're like, I don't want to. I don't want to lose someone.
They're for sure they're milking the whole character development just to make us like lose somebody, and we're just gonna be all in tears once we lose like someone. And not gonna lie, I don't think Pukey guy
Crosby.
Crosby might make it.
Damn.
Because, come on, man. He has, like, a letter from his wife, and I'm like, oh, no!
I like also wonder like looking at the bombings or like the flag against the Germans who are like bombing England, and then they're just talking about like our mission is to bring our boys home. I was like, are you coming home though? That's the main question.
Yeah, and, like, yeah, we get this amazing shot in the distance where you just see artillery firing at something we can't fucking see.
Yeah.
And then they give us a preview of what's coming up next, and it looks fucking intense.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh shit, I'm not prepared for this.
Right? You're like, why do these shows have to rip our hearts out? It's like that one episode in the Pacific where the guy wins the Medal of Honor, and you're like, all right, he gets to go home, and then he decides to come back, and then he dies. You're like, well, that's depressing.
Yeah, I was like, you could have just stayed home.
Right? Oh man.
Like, it was, I think if I remember correctly, like, he was the type to be like, "Oh, I want to be with my brothers," kind of deal.
Yeah. But yeah, just another great episode. Like, I hope it keeps on going. Like, I don't think there's ever a bad episode in like the Pacific or the Band of Brothers show. So I don't think there'll ever be like a down with this show. I might be, what do you call it? Jinxing it, but like for now it's pretty good.
Yeah. So far, so good. I am excited for the next episode. When does the episodes come out?
Saturday.
Saturdays. Gotcha.
Yeah. But yeah, anything else to add for episode 2?
No.
Yeah. But yeah, that's been our video for episode 2 of Masters of the Air. What do you guys think? Comment down below. And yeah, if you like our videos, please leave a like, subscribe, and ding the bell icon to get notified of when we upload next. We're also on Spotify and TikTok. TikTok to see our best and funniest moments and our reactions to the latest trailers, and Spotify to hear us on the go. Individually, I'm Zoda's Voices on TikTok. Where can they find you?
Oh, you can find me at JohnJM_ on Instagram. It is my article.
And until the next one, we'll see you then. Bye, everybody.
Ciao.